Good day to you all. If you would please put your hands together for a meditation reading. A good life is when you assume nothing, do more, need less, smile often, dream big, laugh a lot, and realize how blessed you are. Anonymous author. Namo Amidavas, Namo Amidavas, Namo Amidavas, Namandavas, Namandavas. I rarely hear sirens, but a couple of days ago, the circumstances changed. It is quite unusual to hear helicopters flying overhead. Generally, helicopters are on a rescue mission, helping to look for lost people or someone who was injured on their hikes. The sound of sirens was a constant wailing. Curiosity got the best of me. I went outside to check it out. At that moment, a large plane flew low over the house, rattling the windows and shaking the ground. It was strange because it was not a commercial plane, and we do not regularly have any types of plane flying over the house. I really did not know what was happening. I received texts from members and one from BCA asking if I was okay. I replied, yes, I was. Why? I turned onto the local news, but nothing was reported. I finally had to go to the internet and discovered that a fire was nearby. The news referred to it as the Avila fires. They named the roads where the fire was, yet I did not know where these roads were. Then I found out where the fire was traveling. It dawned on me that the fire was not that far from the temple. I immediately called members who lived in the path of this fire. Of course, they were scared, and who wouldn't be? They were safe and on their way to safety. My automatic response was Namo Amidavas. During this time of COVID-19, we now have another stressor added to our lives. We feel stressed, scared, frustrated, and yes, at times, paranoid. It seems as though our world has shrunk down to only our homes. There are still people who defy and not take the virus seriously. Yet, there is also an increase of kindness and courtesy by others. These qualities in people bring my thoughts back to the Buddha Dharma, and it is always Namo Amidavas. In these times, it is important to see the lighter side of the situation. It is still good to smile through this hardship. Many people have been working at home and connecting using technology through various means. Many have been using the program Zoom. They can actually hold meetings or do business out of the comforts of their home. Those using this method must still dress as though they are going to work. They must wear a shirt or blouse, for others see them from the waist up. But we do not know what they wear on their bottom unless they stand up. There is humor in this situation. A newspaper article wrote about a person who was so comfortable working from home that he forgot how to dress when he did have to go into the office. He showered, shaved, had a good breakfast, grabbed his case, and left his house. It was not until he got to the car and his neighbor yelled at him to put some pants on. He was way too comfortable. Humor can add an uplifting spirit and can put us in a better mood. An example is the day I went shopping. I listed on my groceries a small bag of chips. I was craving them for over a week. As I stood in line, I saw the size of chips I wanted. Not too much, and yet enough to satisfy my craving. A woman was watching me and was smiling as she saw me grab this bag. I told her that I wanted chips for quite a while, and she told me the same thing. She showed me her bag, and it was a family-sized bag. It was amazing, for there were others who were buying the same item. This simple bag of chips brought smiles, conversation, and a bit of humor to our dire situation that has been occurring. We find ways to add socialization and humor to ease our tension. I had a tailgate luncheon with a group of friends at my favorite restaurant. We ordered takeout and waited outside until our orders were ready, always wearing our mask. We opened our trunks and ate our lunch in our cars, standing the required 6 feet of distance. We finished our lunch, the mask went back on, and we talked for a bit. We said our farewells through waves, air kisses, and virtual hugs. But I think the most humorous time for me is when I was invited to a virtual party. My friend's 4-year-old nephew wanted to have people over, but he was sad because his auntie said they could not. So my friend organized a surprise party for him over the Zoom program. We gathered around 4 p.m. We had our snacks and party hats. But then I realized I was the only one wearing a hat. My friend did decorate the room with a banner welcoming everyone to the party. It was a great time and gathering, and her nephew was one happy camper. Throughout this time, we had to find humor to lighten our moods. We remember our nembutsu to calm our nerves and find a way to cope with the situation. We had to find the little things that put a smile on our faces. While having shelter in place, we can still appreciate what has been granted to us. We still have our health, good friends and family, and Namu Amidabutsu. There will be times when we feel alone and abandoned, but we are always surrounded by the Buddha's light in our hearts and minds. We are never abandoned, for we have Namu Amidabutsu to give comfort, company, compassion, and wisdom. We have memories of the good old days when we could freely go to the casinos or simply to the store. We must learn patience and continue to share our thanks and gratitude by reciting Namu Amidabutsu. We do have many things to be thankful for, and we only have to reflect on those times. Our situation is stressful, but why make more tension for ourselves? We can dig deep within our hearts and minds to remember the times of laughter and joy. We have our Nembutsu to ease the hurt, loneliness, and stress. We now rely on our Namo Amida Butsu even more, but it has always been right in front of us. We are grateful for having our Nembutsu and thankful that we are never abandoned. And we have the ability to see, be touched by our Nembutsu, hear our recitation, smell the burning incense, and remember the Buddha Dharma. But most importantly, we can still think. Be careful, stay healthy, and it is always Namo Amida Butsu. If you would please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.